This podcast is brought to you by a special message from Yuki Tabata himself. One day, my mom called me up and she kept saying, "Black is amazing." I had no idea what she was talking about, but she meant this manga. I felt terribly grateful to be drawing something that my mom could get that excited about. Huh! That is very interesting, to say the very least. And, hey guys, what's up? Lucky Cheese 7 is here today to give you guys another Black Clover podcast? Damn, round 3? Saying much? Of course, duh. Been saying it for the past few weeks. It's gonna become like a regular thing. Of course, given the drill that's been going on since the Tokyo Ghoul podcasts, I can't really do this by myself. I mean, yeah, I could, but what fun would it be just having me here by myself, talking like every other YouTuber about a series, when I could just, be here, just talk about it with a friend. So I brought a special guest / special friend with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Greetings, everyone. It's once again me, Sparda3g, back for another Black Clover podcast. I mean, you don't really hear us talking about the series every weekly basis so far. We're in a good roll. We're in a good winning streak. We got like 3 podcasts already, all week back to back. So, yeah, that's all I can say. I mean, I'm a little amazed. I'll be honest with you. Probably the same can be said for Lucky G. What do you think? You think this is like a miracle that we actually make a good winning streak for every weekly basis for the Black Clover podcast?
I can definitely say that. I'm actually kind of surprised with what we've been doing so far. Like, even with the response we got on the second podcast, too. Like, I've been reading all the comments and I've been responding to most of them. And I'm still just sitting here going, like, wow, holy shit. Like, that's crazy. Just to see the kind of reception that we're getting just on the podcast alone. And because of that, it helps motivate us to just keep doing these podcasts. And just because, hey, we do love the series for what's happening, and right now we're just getting to that state in the story with this particular arc, which, like I've been saying for the past 2, it's been on fire. Tabata is like pulling all the stops when it comes to characters, moments, Noelle especially. I mean, we praise her too much, but hey, it's what we do. And of course, Asta doing his thing. But last chapter, we ended off with the troll himself, Nero. Just that face. What exactly comes about from that face? We don't know. So for all of you Nero fans out there, sitting there going like, man, this bird, he's very, very interesting. He has that troll face. I wonder if Tabata is going to showcase more of him next week. Fortunately, you guys get no special gem, no cookie. Instead, you guys have to play the waiting game, going through the podcast and just the fact that we're doing these still. It definitely is a miracle, to say the very least. And it's surprising with what we've gotten. And in light of that, I think it's time that we jump to the chapters themselves. Jump into the Shadow Realm. Yeah, we're just gonna call it that now. I mean, it was kind of like a joke.
I mean, now I'm saying it's no, it's just like I'm seeing people talking about like, oh, that was like a Saint Seiya sanctuary thing. I'm like, oh, that we're going there too. So which is it? Is it Shadow Realm, Shadow Palace? What am I looking at? I mean, I'm not saying it's a copy. It's just funny how people keep bringing out like different mix of things. I'm like, okay, so which one should I call? Because right now I've been calling it Shadow Realm, or because of the damn 4 kids. Even though I should have known better, it was actually hell. But Shadow Realm actually felt more believable then the next dimension. I'm gonna die, but that's okay. I'm going to the next dimension. Bye, guys.
Okay, Goku. I will see you in the next dimension.
Next dimension. Like just hearing it now, it just sounds hilarious. Oh, maybe you would do better. Maybe you'll be very useful in the next dimension. I'm like, well, that almost sounds cool until you said the next dimension.
Brawly, call me Kakarot in the next dimension.
Dimension. Oh god. Well, I'm not even gonna say something more than that, but all right.
No. Oh god.
Oh god. But yeah, we're in Shadow Realm. Let's go with that.
Shadow Realm Palace, whatever you guys want to call it. Whether or not it's a good place or bad place is totally up to you guys. But we are here, chapter 191. I almost messed up and said it was 192, but then I'm like, wait, no, that's next week's chapter. And we kind of continue on from last week. Again, nothing on Nero, so all Nero fans, gotta wait. Let's go into the Shadow Palace. To the decisive battle, chapter 191, infiltrate the Shadow Palace. To which Asta notices, like, whoa. And we're seeing Fuegolion, Merliana, Mimosa, Noelle, Nozel, and more or less you consider they're kind of like flying through? If that's the right word? Flying, swimming. I guess more like just like breezing through. It's probably the right word I'm going to use.
Looks like swimming, if anything. I don't know. I'll go with swim.
Yeah, because I was like, they kind of look like they're swimming more than flying. So,
yeah.
And Asta's like, wait, what the heck is this place? And Fuegolion's like, oh, is this an anti-intruder trap? To which Merliana says, huh, it's filled with a strange mana. Mimosa says, I can't control my magic in here. And Nozel, the Shadow Palace, according to legends, it's the border between this world and the afterlife. Huh, that's good to know. It's good to reassure. Like, even because it brings up something funny where Ass is like, wait, so does that mean we're gonna die? And
jeez, very blunt. Oh shit, we're gonna die.
And then, I know Noelle over here is just like, don't go saying any other things like that. I mean, it is the border between life and death.
I mean, yeah, but damn, like you could not say any lighter or just not be so certain that the idea of like if we're in between world and afterlife, that means we're gonna die. You could not just think like, oh, we're just between them. Interesting. But I'd rather stay in the world. But instead he's like, oh my god, we're gonna die.
Right?
Say, wow, very certain. Good job.
It's like we're all gonna die, guys. It's confirmed. Like, it's not confirmed. Like, until there's a flesh wound, if they're even gonna get one. Until there's a flesh wound, until someone loses an arm. Oh wait, Fuegolon already had that. My mistake. Yeah. Then we shall have to see about that. But it's funny just thinking about that. Like, yeah, like, will you stop? No one's gonna die. Like, which is funny because I'm assuming Asta is like, I don't want to die. Or Noelle, one of the two. I'm gonna assume it's Asta.
Hey, I wonder who says that closing part. Maybe it was Asta. I don't want to die.
Yeah, I'm trying to
say, but it is hilarious. Maybe Asta.
Might be. To which Asta just kind of like bumps his head against like the floor, like just like that. And then Mimosa screams, and of course, not exactly the talk of the chapter.
Well, men of culture, I guess. Depends how you see it. Depends how you see it. Depends how you see it. I'm not encouraging everybody to do this.
I remember as soon as I got to this part in the chapter, I'm just like, huh. I'm like, okay, I'm not one to judge. I just usually just go through all the stuff. But I'm like, Tabata, are you trying to challenge Hero right now? Be like,
what? I will say this though. I think the way how it's executed is rather funny because like it's like yeah, you got this scene, but it's what happens right after. It's like so you mean to tell me if you stay here, she's not a healer. You're actually going to die by getting face planted by boobs. I mean, it's not the worst way to die, but
No, it's not.
you know, he's legitimately bleeding to death. I'm like, is he really going to die from this? I mean, hell, at least it's I don't know. I don't even know what to think of. So I thought that whole scene is actually kind of funny to
It
me.
was. I was just like, wow.
I was like, first, I'm just like, oh, I was like, well, it's been, I don't even know if it's been a while or is this is the first game face planted by this method. And then I'm thinking like, okay, so this will go to something perverted, but instead you got Asta like near death right now. I was like, wow, okay, he's gonna die by this. Well, our heroes, good job.
Yeah, our
We
heroes
need
at the
you,
final
Asta. You got two swords. We
two.
need you, Asta. We got the two swords. The two very helpful swords. It makes sense you go over to Shadow Palace. Yeah, that's a good idea. If I don't die by this. Oh shit, I am going to die by this.
Man, this is definitely like I remember I was like sitting there, I'm like, damn, that's funny. Poor Asta. Oh, poor Asta. Just like I just came here to kick some ass, and then this shit happens.
I know. It's not. It's like he couldn't even. It's like I don't even know if he could enjoy the moment. He's like, well, I'm gonna die from this. So could have been sister. No.
I know.
Why? Why not sister? Why not die by sister? That would have been an amazing way to die. Then my story arc ends. Then I would have just had the Perry fan going irate, but that's a different story.
Yeah, right. It's a whole different story. I mean, a certain pairing fans are like, "Oh, look at this!" I'm like, "Hey, have your fun. I don't care."
Knock yourself out.
Yeah. And yeah, so that happened, and then Mimos was like, "Sorry, Asta, I'll heal you right away," like straight up.
And I thought Death by Snooster was bad.
Yeah, right. She's like, "So this is inside the Shadow Palace," and Asta's like, "Yeah, I'm still alive." Hold on, where's everyone else?
I just like how he says that part. Yeah, I'm still alive. it's like you know.
Like, take that, Noelle. I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like, yeah, I'm still alive. Like, would it be like, oh, thank you for healing me? It's like you way you're saying that, you pretty much almost acknowledge that you was going to die.
Yeah, right.
It's like, wow, I was about to die by face planted by your jugs, but thank you for saving me because I'm alive now. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is just funny to me.
It is, dude. Honestly. No, but that's gonna be like a trend right now with Tabata, because even last chapter started off pretty funny too. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like like it's funny because like I know like Asta's like one of those typical shonen protagonists, but like it's just those words and the timing of it is actually kind of funny it's actually more funny to be honest because it's like again it started off like well we're going between the world and afterlife and he's the one that started this whole holy crap we're gonna die it's like not often you hear a main character who's just like oh shit we're gonna die you just be like all right brush off in death we have nakama or whatever stuff like that but him he's like oh my god we're gonna die and then he's at her mercy in a sense it's like oh god I'm gonna die by this out of all ways. No, it's not Lich that would just kill me by my own sword. No, it's not other knights that would just kill me. Not elves. No, it's death by face plant. All right.
like
It's not the worst way, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, death by healer. Even more
ironic
irony of it's like the irony stack of irony and another irony. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this whole part was just funny to me. It's like, I'm alive. Yeah.
Like, I'm finally here. I'm like, wow. That's why we love him. That's definitely why we love Asta. Just because of that.
Yeah.
Crazy little goofball. And he's like, yeah, all right. And I'm all healed up back to tip top shape. Now I'll be able to fight in my
Wow.
black form again. My black form again.
That's true. He's right. He's not wrong. I was
He's
like, oh
not
yeah,
wrong
that's
about
right.
that.
So it was a pretty good. It is pretty good to have her then. I mean, like, yeah, granted, you almost died, but still.
Yeah. I mean, because if it was Noelle, ooh.
Well, then I think he's dead. Well, no amount of water is gonna heal me.
I'll be like, Noelle, if you can carry him, good.
I'm gonna carry all the way down the hall.
Yeah. It's funny too. Just thinking about it in that context. It's like, man, if it was Noelle, it's like, well, okay. Are you gonna carry him? Like, you better. I mean, he is the one with 2 anti-magic swords.
Yeah.
So y'all need to win. Use him, otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah.
Too screwed, if you ask me. Going from there, Mimosa's like, next I'll use the magic flower guidepost to ascertain the layout of this place. And Asta just kind of thinking, royalty sure is something else. It's awesome how you're able to do so much, Mimosa. He's like super amazed by it. You're like, wow, I cannot believe this shit actually is happening right now. I'm like,
Oh, royalty is amazing.
you don't say. Like a certain someone else who's on your team.
Yeah, right.
Funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then like she looks over, she's like, wait, this is, and then we see it's not the tablet per se, but it's like almost like a representation of the tablet. There's a ton of large rooms, and in each of them I can sense 11 magic right now. We're in one of the connecting corridors to one of those rooms. It seems everyone we came with got scattered across the palace. And she thinks to herself, like, this is really bad. That means if we don't defeat all the different enemies in each of the rooms, we won't be able to meet back up together. And on top of that, our opponents are going to be those known as the Apostles of Sephira? Was even that's how you say that word?
Yeah, Sephira is right.
Yeah.
Should be right. To my knowledge, at least.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, because the way I thought it's like Seth Haria, so
it's like, Sephiroth. Okay, I know.
yeah. Each of them possesses a magic greater than a magic knight captain level. And they can sense the most powerful magic in the top room. Of course, for Lit, they give him, because to what Asta, he's like, oh, it must be him. So then that must be the boss, right? Of course, we see this nice little panel, like right above Asta. It's like, okay, so the boss, rendezvous, knights.
Yeah, pretty much just like a simplified version, just in case well, it's kind of hard to get lost with the way how she explained. It's pretty much the most simplified version. You get all the knights, they all split up, they go their ways, and they have to rendezvous before they meet the final boss.
Basically,
that's the story. Pretty much, that's the gist of it.
Yeah, so if anyone gets confused, like, here's the more simplified version of it. It's like, oh, okay, that's all you need to do.
Cool.
And then Asta's like, yeah, all right, then we should deal with just the enemies they run into, and we'll rendezvous at the very top where the boss is. Then she's like, okay, the middle room is right above us. He's thinking, like, okay, I don't know who our enemy's going to be, but Mimosa and I have no choice but to win. And then we get the holy shit double page spread. My God. This art.
Yeah, well, wait, did you skip ahead? No, I don't know. Yeah.
Or is it coming up?
Okay, we saw the paintings. We see the paintings.
Yeah.
See the paintings. I was like, that looks pretty cool.
Oh, wait, no.
See a lot of paintings.
The double page spread isn't here. I thought we were getting that, but
no. I remember vividly the guy told me, like, hey, I think Tabata made a wrong decision to become a mangaka. I thought he was saying, like, are you trying to hate on his work or something? Because that seems kind of rude. But let me see what you're trying to say. Read the chapter, and then I'm like, oh man, that double page is crazy. Kept reading. Wow, that was an interesting setup. I don't get it. So he linked it, and he or she linked it, and I checked it, and I'm like, double page spread, the one I complimented heavily. Are you trying to say he should have been an artist? Because I'll take that as a compliment then. I think that's the joke. I hope that's the joke. Because honestly, when I saw that double page, I was like, oh my God. You know, like I saw this guy. I saw this guy at a subreddit, and he's right. Could you imagine if you're a person that don't like Black Clover, and then we're in the year 2019, all because of the first couple of chapters, you know, the whole it's so Naruto, it's so the big generic stuff, and then you're missing out something like that page 10. So I remember it's page 10 because it was a link.
Yeah, it is page 10.
Straight to page 10. So I said that's why I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. We're in page 7 right now. I mean, yeah, it could be a different page when you get the official release. It'd probably be page 9 or probably the same 9 to 10 because it is a double page. Then again, I'm probably miscounting because I remember there was a double page earlier. But the point is, when it comes to this site, it'll be like page 10. And I remember like earlier, you see the paintings first. So
yeah,
that's why I was like, I think we're jumping. Yeah.
Yeah, we were jumping ahead.
Yeah.
The paintings
we are jumping ahead. It is good. It just gets toppled completely by the later scene, but we get to that when we get to it.
We'll get to that. Because, Asta's there and he's like, these paintings. And then we see Riley, because he's like, oh, hey, welcome until the final magic stone arrives. I'm going to practice my paintings on you guys. And he's like, real. Okay, no, it's not Riley, but real. Yeah. Real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's real. It should be real. I'm just waiting for the anime to correct me.
I know.
Like, oh, that's how you pronounce it. It's like what I did with what show I did that. Darn, I forgot. Hold on, I'm trying to remember.
You can go. Zora initially, before his real name show. I was like, how do you say like a bunch of X's? How do you say it?
Actually, I remember Tokyo Ghoul. I was waiting how you say his name. It was like, oh well, the only beneficial I got from the anime is to tell me how you pronounce this guy's name. Oh, okay, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like, did I say his name wrong?
So yeah, we get real or Ryle, depending on however you pronounce this guy's name. Anime, please.
It should be real. It should be real.
That's what it should
be. It has to be. Rel sounds like R-E-L, but I could be wrong too. My Japanese is still rusty right now. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It doesn't help when you it doesn't help when you have a series that actually has Chinese words that are like, oh crap, now I'm gonna mix up in a sense. I was like, did they just call it chin by mistake? No, that's right. It is right. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's hard on me.
It's okay. He's like, oh come on, how many times I have to tell you, my people? My name is Lila. There we go. Sounds a little better. He's like,
hey, very English.
Yeah, very English. I know we go from real or Ryle to Lila. Lila. Whatever.
Don't overcomplicate this now. And now we got Lila. I'm like, shit. Maybe let's see. Okay, real. It should be real because it's like when you say Lil, it'd be Lil, right? So like little toy, you know.
Yeah,
so it has to be real. It has to be. Damn it!
Oh, I just couldn't resist. Just having fun. Whatever floats your boat, guys. Whatever floats your boat. Sky, I met you earlier, didn't I? And Asta just off the gauges go like, hey, hang in there. I'll wake you up right now. Lila's like, I'm already wide awake. Painting magic is so fun. It definitely took a little while to get used to it, but I can draw a lot more with it than I could with my scribbling magic from long ago. Now we get the double page spread, and holy shit, when I first saw this, I was like, what did you do, Tabata? Because that is like some godlike work there.
You know, if there is a time where Tabata gets sick or, pretty much like, oh, I got rough draft, I couldn't finish the chapter. Seeing this type of art, I would be like, yeah, I can understand why. This type of art is really hard to draw, and you certainly made it happen. You certainly did the hell of a job here. So whenever there's like a time where he's like, oh, that's a rough draft, or it's less pages, like it was only 17 pages or 15 pages. Like, well, look, we got these type of moments, and this is actually kind of a rare, well, not too rare, but it is a a fascinating thing to see. I mean, we have
It
that
really
before with authority. The authority thing was one of my favorite panels. It's like everything is so many wonderful details of imagination colliding. And it's like every time I go back to that, I'm like, oh my God, there's more that I missed out. I didn't even notice that guy was like stabbing the other dragon or something like that. Just giving a random example. But it's like so many detail. In this case, there's a lot of detail as well. Like you can see a volcano, eyeballs flying off like it's supposed to be a molten lava, but instead it's just eyeballs. It's freaking sick. Then
and
you
there's
got
like a
like a
snake rider in
demonic,
the corner too, like just coming off from like the tree branch.
yeah. You got snakes coming from a tree branch. You got like a lot of devils, the skulls, a book, a grimoire of theirs, because just in case you miss out the detail. Then it's like some, I don't know, like Sybaris? I don't even know on the left, far left. It's like devil dogs, devil
I think it's
beasts.
Cerberus. I think that's what it's called.
Might be, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the clouds that's pretty much look like a like demonic thing. It's crazy stuff. But just not only you see a lot of details, but they all can be seen and it's not like let me just mishmash everything. But it's like, damn, it's a mishmash that I can see and understand what's going on. Yet I'm still finding newer detail every time I look at it closer. So it's
Like
it's a
this
hell of a
could
job.
totally be like in like an art gallery. Like if you really look at it.
Yeah, that's so. If that guy who asked me, he made a wrong decision to become a mangaka. I could understand you could if you're complimenting his artwork to say, hey, you should have been one of those guys at the MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art or whatever. Because holy hell, look at this shit.
I know. And I mean if you look at the cloud more specifically, there's like three heads. They look at more detail into it.
Oh, sure, you're right. Yeah, no, it's like four
I just
heads.
noticed that I was like, wait a minute, what? There's four?
Holy hell. Yeah, look. Oh, well, I can't do I was going to say screen share, but I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, let me see if I can do my best I can to describe. All right, you know where you see the sound effects? That's one face, right?
Yeah.
Right next to the sound effects, that's one. Now, towards left, that's two. You see that one, right? The very right of the middle one. You see it, right?
Oh, I see it now. Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, I think there's five. I could be. No, wait. I
No,
think there's
the-
six. Holy shit! I think it's
oh,
six. Oh
oh,
my god!
okay,
I,
I see one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe there is six. God
I think
damn.
there is six. You know, I'm looking forward to Sunday for the official release, so I can get a clearer image and let's see how many I can count from there. But yeah, this something like this. It makes you say, two things. Is either one, it's worth buying the official release from the official source,
Mm-hmm.
the Shonen Jump. No endorsement. I'm just saying they do have the clearer image and they pretty much are official. And two, man, I gotta buy the volume version to see this
Same.
artwork. If anything, you probably wanted to buy the volume, rip this page and portrait it and portrait it on your wall or something because it's just that good. It's like, damn, the detail. Oh
Anyone who's
man,
learning about like official releases, you could also get the Shonen, like the Manga Plus app too. That also helps.
the manga plus is like free. Like it's free for like the last three chapters and the first three chapters and some chapters. It's not every chapters in the world that's free, but again, when it comes to new releases, they're free. They're really doing a hell of a job to say, hey, look, you want to support them, you gotta come to us. They're doing a really bang up job. I give a huge credit for that. But yeah, if you want to see the clearest image, yeah, Manga Plus will be the best option, and should come out Sunday 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I recall correctly. But
I believe so.
do check it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the amazing artwork, which we can you could totally play like an I Spy game with this and just be like, okay, what is here and what do you see? Then we get to the next panel underneath. And at first when I read this, I was like, oh god. But then I read it and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. What I initially thought that Lila said was, we're going to paint a brand new day. I was like, oh god. Like, don't go there, please.
You actually said that? No, brand new day.
great day. Yeah, and then I read it. I'm like, oh, it's Brand New World. I'm
Oh
dumb.
god, are you that traumatized?
Not trauma, no, because when I heard Brand New, I was like, please don't say day. Just the thought just
Hey
popped into my
Peter,
mind.
Peter Parker, this is such a great day. It's like it was the beginning of a brand new. Hey, what do you know? That's the next issue. Cool.
Man.
Well, if it
Brand
was
New
one
World.
more day, I think everybody would just shatter. So
Yeah, right.
America has shattered because it was reminded to that awful, atrocious story that everybody remembers wholeheartedly. It's so bad. If MCU even try to adapt it, they will petition. They will go on a strike, and no matter how much they try to make it better, because Civil War was way better in the movies. Admit it, everyone. If they try to dare, if they dare to try to do it one more day, my God, save us all.
Yeah, he's like, oh, on the blank canvas left behind after we erase you humans. And then I was like, huh, looks like it's not gonna be so easy after all.
I
And
mean,
then we got
after all, I almost died by I
by
almost died by her.
by the healer of all people. That's which is ironic.
Yeah. So anything else would not be far fetched to die from.
As is like, yeah, we're gonna take on Lilla. Next page, Noelle. Like, what? I'm all alone. Where'd everybody go? Like,
It's like
last I remember, everyone was here. How did this happen?
she's like, what the hell? We all teamwork. We all talk about what's going to work, teamwork, and then we all separated. Every single one of us. Well, except for two, but still.
That's so fun. I know that's kind of funny thing. Last chapter, it's like, all right, let's all gather together. And then this chapter, it's like split. Like, really?
Yeah, it's like who's a friend in the team? My brother. Let's split up, gang.
She's like, why am I all alone? Where's everyone? And then we see. I mean, we know who it is. We see Fauna, and she's like, if you're that lonely, then I'll keep you company. And then Noelle turns around, like, what are you doing here? Like, although I don't think you'll last very long with me. Then we cut off to
It's like it
Zedler.
has a low key.
Hmm?
I'm sorry. No, I was just saying. It's like it feels like a very low key revenge thing. Yeah, granted, she doesn't have the salamander anymore, but if you remember,
That's a good point. I remember that.
because it was Noelle that struck her down for a moment. It's like, you bastard, you struck my salamander or struck me. I think it was both. But I mean, yeah, the anime did happen again, so I should have remembered. But I do remember that she was the one that brought her down. So it's like, this feels like a low key revenge plot, even though it's a difference. This fauna is not that fauna, but yeah,
No.
you get it. But the
Yeah.
point is, what interested me is that Noelle is going against Fauna in a one-on-one combat. So this is a huge test for her, for
It really
Noelle,
is.
because we see how great she is with the new power up. We see how well she adjusted with teamwork, especially with Zoro back like 10 chapters ago. I'll probably
I
be
believe it
a
was
little bit
10 chapters ago,
off.
I believe.
Yeah, it's around there, 10 to 12 chapters, if I remember right. But
15 at the
yeah,
most. And then,
now we're seeing a one-on-one combat. Now, granted, maybe somebody was come save the day or help her out because Fauna was pretty powerful back then.
she was.
Thankfully, she doesn't have Thankfully, she doesn't have Salamander because if she does, then well, shit, this is going to be much harder than I thought. But I wouldn't say it's 100% handicap, but it is definitely a little downgrade. Still, she's
Fair.
still going to be a really tough challenge for Noelle. But on the plus side, this is
Noelle's
going to
got
be a
type
really
advantage.
interesting battle. Huh?
I said Noelle's got type advantage too because she's water.
Right. So, but what's also interesting is that, we see Noelle got her power up. Now we're going to see more of it. Unless she's going to use water magic just to play safe rather than going all full fledged with the new power that she has. But it depends. Still, I'm looking forward to this one because it's Noelle. Come on, can do wrong. This
Right?
guy's Tabata is on the roll. I'm making how her character should be portrayed, which I'm still astonished, honestly. And just want to see how the whole combat. I just want to see how the whole combat goes down. Again, maybe she would get help. I don't mind that because this is a tough situation. But it'll be really, really, really impressive if she actually beats her 1-on-1. I don't want it to be a 100% squash because I don't want to be like I don't know, like a karate chop or a dragon chop, whatever you want to call it, chop. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be so simple. I know a lot of people be thinking like if you one shot a character, you're awesome. It's like it depends how you make it work. Like I don't want to go to. It's like it's all about presentation. It's not about it's all about the presentation. A la, which can be say the same for execution, which is pretty much the same thing if you ask me. Execution and presentation, they're the same thing in my opinion. So like it all depends on that kind of criteria. You can't just say like, okay, I'm gonna just like it's like reading out of wiki. It's like it sounds amazing if you're like, and then Noelle gets a new power up and struck down 3 enemies. It's like, oh, like if you read that and then you see if you read that and go and base by that, that's not really enough. That's not really a good thing because you don't know how it works. You don't know how it was executed. It's just like, oh, okay, that happened, cool. But what if you go actually see it yourself and see how impressive it came off? Like, whatever you see, like, oh my god, she was actually kicking ass. She wasn't doing like, it wasn't like low key, like, oh, let me just put you to sleep. Oh, that's how I should knock her out. Oh, that's kind of bland, but I'll take it. But in this case, you'd be like, if you see it, you will know how impressive it was. It's not like, oh, you just read it and you feel like it's impressive. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's gonna be that one type of deal of like, oh, I'm gonna one shot you, boom. I mean, if it happens, well, I better hope it better happen in a great way. Because for some reason, lately I'm seeing a lot of one shot from a lot of series, but not a lot, but many series. I mean, if I remember, I still remember Bleach did that a long time ago, back in the beginning of not Winter War, but it was the prelude to the Winter War. I remember they were struggling, and then it was like, oh, these 3 captains, we weren't struggling, we were just toying. And then they all 3 of them one shot the villain. I'm like, alrighty then. What was the whole point of that? I mean, I guess they want to make you look strong, but I don't know. I felt like you jobbed them out so bad. It's kind of hard to take to be serious with these guys until further notice. I mean, they rebound with the actual people, but you know, the first impression was really weird. It was just really weird as hell. To be honest. So I was like, I'm getting my ass kicked. One shot. Nope. Nope. So yeah, I'm expecting this battle to be a really fun one.
Definitely. I am too. I mean, again, it's just Tabata just further like reestablishing, look, Noelle got the Valkyrie just last time. Not saying she'll get another power up, but she's not out just yet. She's gonna get some more.
I'm gonna karate chop you.
Karate. We are not.
I don't know why.
We are not letting that die.
Okay, well,
without mentioning said series, but yeah, if y'all know the reference, good on you. Man,
oh god, I still love that guy with the spoilers. And then Asta, when I asked it was somebody, I think it was Lich, acquire 6 Grimoire.
Oh yes,
I'm like, this good. I was dying. I'm surprised nobody picked that up. Like,
as soon as I saw 6 Grimoires, I'm like, I already know where this is going.
Oh, I love that guy. He's my favorite spoiler, even though that's a fake spoiler. And I read the spoiler after the chapter, so don't worry. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I know what's gonna happen.
I know. I was gonna address it. I was like, there were spoilers for this chapter too, but I'm like, wait, I don't know how accurate they're gonna be. And then I see the chapter. I'm like, they were actually pretty accurate this time. All right.
Yeah. And if anything, the spoilers is the same thing as I was explaining earlier. The whole, hey, it sounds interesting, or it sounds amazing, or it sounds kind of lame. And you see the actual chapter or the actual thing, And you probably have a second thought, like, oh, the way how it handled was actually pretty damn good. Like, it sounded crap, spoiler, but shoot, I like this. It kind of like, see, that's what I'm saying. So what about presentation? Presentation.
That's the important thing. It's always a presentation. And this, we could talk about like the potential that Noelle's fight's going to be, and we'll get to that like at a given point. Then we cut over to the reincarnated Veto. Yeah, this guy. For a lot of Black Clover fans that jumped on board with the Water Temple arc, we all know it was because of this guy. I mean, granted, the guy's dead. He's reincarnated as an elf, so it's not technically the same guy, but it is the same guy. It's like with Fauna right now. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, so my opponent is you, is it? It's like, for human royalty, you sure got some interesting mana. And I'm like, Mimosas with Asta dealing with Lilla. Noelle is dealing with Fauna. And I was like, all right, so who else could it be? I'm like, okay, so there were two. No, there was either Nozel, Fuegolion, or Merliana. It was one of those three. And we find out it's her.
That was kind of cool. Yeah. I thought that was cool. It's like, who could it be? Because it's like, you got three options now. And like you said, we only had three options. And you just go to the next page, but, oh, it's her. Awesome.
Beast versus Beast, essentially, is what they are.
Yeah. That's what makes it more exciting. Like, holy hell, this is going to be like carnage, like actual carnage right here.
Mm-hmm. She's like, you got a real smart mouth on you. I'm going to have to teach you some manners, Brad. And she's like, young fool, we're not blessed to be disciplined. Beasts.
I think it says we are beasts. Yeah, we're not beasts.
We're not beasts to be disciplined by the likes of humans. I'm like, yeah, sure. Because I remember your whole little shtick in the Water Temple arc. I haven't forgotten.
This boy. I think that's how you say it.
I think so.
He was, yeah. I know it says despair in English, but I think in Japanese he's like, this boy. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. You could be right about that. And then we cut to Fuegolion. He's like, back when I became a captain, someone told me that I would ever be fighting against you in this form, like this, I'd have never believed it. And thus we get the Kaiser himself as an elf.
Yep.
Yes, this is the most regrettable. The kingdom's ultimate field, Sir Kaiser. Ha ha ha. You wouldn't need hold back. After all, I don't know you at all. And he's like, yeah. Besides, holding back at all would be disrespectful. And that's kind of where the chapter ends. So, multiple fights at once. I'm not complaining.
Not complaining at all.
Nope. Unlike said series, which I won't name. Sparda knows what I'm alluding to here. This one's actually taking some cues, and I like that.
There may be some background sounding you probably hear, but that's only because somebody's a fan of Frozen outside my apartment for whatever reason.
It's funny.
Yeah, New York City is pretty damn cold. Well, it's not the coldest. Yesterday was, but still, somebody wants some Frozen. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it
go. But when it comes to this chapter itself, I thought it was pretty interesting because, like, this is like last chapter was pretty much like a calm before storm, and the storm is pretty much the Shadow Palace. So they all get ready, and they got to fix up the team. They got Mimosa, Asta, Noelle, and the other three, the royalties. So it's like, okay, we're finally setting up. Which is funny because now that I brought up the other three, we didn't get to see who Nozel fighting.
I was gonna bring that up. Like, it's interesting how we got like the two Vermillion siblings, but we didn't see Nozel. Like, where the fuck is he? It's the first thing I want to ask because I'm like, because he was there in the beginning, and then it's like, you dip? Like,
oh crap! I forgot. I got 2 extra pages, and I forgot to post them. It was worth for Nozel versus somebody. Oops.
Yeah, I was sitting there going like, did you just say, you know what? No, I know exactly where this is going. I'm gonna go back, but I would be like, really now? You were just developing too. Now you just went back down.
But again, I thought this chapter was interesting because, like I said, last chapter was the calm before storm, and now we got everybody recruit. This one is about setting up the battle, and we already know the premise now. So it's pretty much like a dungeon tour. I forgot what you call it. It's like you gotta lead these hallways. You gotta face some enemies. It's like an enemy tower, I guess you want to put it that way, but in a dungeon layer style. So in this case,
Kind of like a labyrinth.
Elaborate. There you go. I was looking for that word. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no word for it. It's a labyrinth. So we now know it's a labyrinth. We now know their mission is to rendezvous before they meet with Lynch. So therefore they could actually all team up, gang all on one against him. Which it sounds like a hell of an easy job. But then again, Lich is much powerful than before. So who knows? Plus, we still don't know where the heck is Yami. So where's that? Where that part goes to?
He's probably still hanging with Jack
which is kind of shocking.
As far as we know.
Yeah. No,
or as which maybe he'd be the Mantis Man.
Mantis Man. So we don't know about the Mantis Man. we don't know about it feels like there will be the element of surprise, which I don't mind because something like that. Like, oh yeah, huh?
I feel like that's what it's gonna end up being. That's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah. I think will be the element of surprise. Like, what the heck you're doing here? Like, oh, cool, he's here. That's unexpected.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, something unexpected will happen. I mean, like, it's not like, oh, I got 6 grid more now. I don't think that's going to happen. All I'm saying is a new challenge that could happen. That's the idea, and I'm fine with that because again, the Shadow Palace was last seen open. I guess it was closing. It was closed. But still, you gotta remember, you gotta remember the last chapter. There was 2 guys in the very beginning of the chapter. They look at it and they wonder about it. So it's possible those guys hop in as well. We don't know if they did. We don't know.
The one we were trying to say last week, I think it's Goldar. I think that's how you say his name.
Oh, okay. I know there was an anime episode with his name pronounced, but I didn't get the chance to see it. Like, how do you say his name? How do you say his name? Okay, cool. So the setup right now is just pretty much a new obstacles for them, but it should be interesting because there's a lot of different style, I guess. Like Asta has like a healer. Style, like Asta has a healer, and I can see this battle is going to be really tough, and it's going to rely on Mimosa to heal him, as well being like a hell of a support, as much as she did back in the whole what do you call that? Like a tournament thing. But now this time it's going to be a more dangerous scenario. So this is more like a real life. This is like real.
This is more practice based than.
Yeah, this is your true work. This is your true test. Again, like you said, that one was the practice. Now this one's your test. This is where there's either pass or fail. No, there's nothing else, nothing more than that. With Noelle is fighting against Fauna, and this is a one-on-one combat. So this is interesting because again, we know what she can do now. She has that Valkyrie thing. She control her magic well, but now we're gonna see a full-fledged fight because when she has the Valkyrie,
and she's fighting one-on-one too, and that's never happened before.
Right. Exactly. So this is gonna put her into the ultimate test. This is actually an interesting conflict right here. Then you have the two battle of 2 beasts, as you say. So that's something that's going to be a hell of a beastly battle. I said it. So there's that, and then you have the last matchup, which is pretty much like it's like meeting one of the really like a respected dude, but now I'm about to fight Kaiser. Well, shit. Well, both of us is like kind of one of the the well known people, but. Well, this sucks that we gotta fight each other, but it is what it is. Like, yeah. So don't hold back. Well, I'm not planning to because that will be disrespectful. So it's like out of respect. It's like honors versus honors in a sense. So a lot of matchup are interesting. And yeah, I know a lot of people be like, well, yeah, it's like, damn, we was this close to get to the final boss. We're still that close. But
Yeah,
what
we
this
are
thing
still
is
pretty
gonna do
close.
is we're still very close. The, hmm?
No, I was saying that we just hit like different obstacle points. That's it.
Yeah, and it probably going to lead to a lot more than just like, well, I did the work. Character development, what's that? I don't think that's going to be the case. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I don't think that's going to be like just like, oh, I beat him and that's it. It's like, well, what's the payoff? It's like, what payoff? What are you talking about? What the payoff? Whoa, come on. They're like those guys who is like, I can't even remember the name, and I just think they're just from a different class in general, but hey, well, who cares, right? So it's not going to be that case. At least I
No,
hope not. I don't think so. Don't think so. But like again, I really pinpoint what makes it interesting with these battle matchup, and the fact that like going back to Mimosa and Asta, they're going to go against the guy with this crazy imagination. Who knows how many fun stuff we're gonna see out of that? Like, oh my god, we see a lot of crazy randomness, but it's awesome. And a lot of other characters go in their battles with a different styles, different
like
styles
each
of
fight's gonna be
matchup style.
different.
Right. So that's what makes it very exciting. Instead of like, can we just skip this already? I don't want 20 chapters of nothingness. I don't think
Point
so.
chapters.
So well, some series would do that. Like, oh, you go. See, I give appreciation for them. At least they did the elaborate concept rather than like, oh, it's this guy. Oh man, we're stuck. Oh, don't worry, I'll take care from here. But we should work together and just kill him. I'll take care from here. But we should just I'll take care and you go again. Okay, fine, I'll do that. That's a seriously, I'm tired of doing that. Like some make sense, but sometimes I'm like, I feel like if you work together, you could just beat them, and then you could still come off with all you guys together. Like, hey, I thought we won't see you again. Well, you would have if you actually leave me alone. But cool. Then we're gonna beat this final boss with all five of us. Awesome. But
Which will
anyway,
be
whatever.
awesome, actually.
Point.
It won't just be a one-on-one type thing. It'll be like a group effort.
Yeah. So like I'd rather have characters to have a labyrinth to fall into a labyrinth path more so than like, well, there's a one ladder, so let's just keep going. But then there's obstacles coming by. So let's just sacrifice a user or two. So I prefer this way. But
Yeah, like
yeah, definitely
it's not like with Bleach where, say, you're like in the fake card town arc, and like like how all these fights are supposed to happen simultaneously, but it's like you end one fight and then you immediately go to another one where the fight's just about to start, and it's like, aren't they supposed to be going on at the same time? Not just be like, oh, here, let's wait. Like,
I feel like we should be stopping this. Actually, there was an anime that did that recently. I remember the guy literally powered up in front of him. I forget what anime was it.
oh,
And
really?
yeah, and I'm commentating. I'm commentating while I'm watching this. So I'm like, I feel like we should be stopping this. I'm like, why are you letting him power up? Stop him. And then but I just like go like, I want a good fight. That's pretty much like Dragon Ball in a nutshell in a jokey way. It's like, Goku, we should be stopping him powering up. Like, nah, I want a good fight. I'm like, all right, cool. We're endanger the world, why don't you?
Get right.
Like, damn, just stop him. So what's so hard to do that?
So hard to do that, indeed. And it's again like when it comes to arcs and pacing, like I have read a lot of arcs. The amount of chapters that this current arc of Black Clover for that, and at points, pacing has kind of been an issue with some of those arcs. But Black Clover so far, even with this many chapters, it's still like Tabata knows exactly what he's doing, and it doesn't feel like we're dragging on. Like it actually feels like we're moving along pretty steadily, and I'm really impressed by that. Honestly, I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that, Sparta? Like, just like looking at how we are with this arc right now, with the amount of content that we've been getting. Like, the fact that it doesn't really feel sluggish compared to like some of the other series we've read.
Well, it's like I said before. I think I said that in the first podcast. What's amazing is that, like, long time ago, I mean, it's still effective right now, but a long time ago, I always complain about, like, is the facing is too fast because I'm like, this word looks cool. This word looks very interesting. Like, the lore is still fun, but you kind of wish you would explore it more, kind of like a One Piece sense. Granted, the sacrifices, it will go slower pace, and some people wanted to go a little bit speedy. So in a sense, the Black Clover pacing does fit well for a lot of people that likes to go straight to the action, and I don't blame them. But the worlds they created, I want to explore a little more before we get to the battle. It's again, the best way I could explain the pacing would be like something like the way how Dragon Ball Z Kai abridged style would be like very exaggerated fast, but that's the way how it works. It's like, hey, it was like, oh my God, it's Vegeta. Yes, it's me. I'm pissed off. But enough of that. The Ginyu Force are coming. When? Right now. Like, oh, okay. Shit, that was quick. I'm like, what? So it's like that. That's Black Clover earlier in the past. Now, it still goes fast pacing, but for some reason, or more like he finally realized, Tabata realized there's a way to make it perfectly balanced. Yeah, I know I could go down those right now, but again, he could find a way to make it work almost like nearly perfect. And while the pace is still fast, for some reason now it feels like it's perfectly fine with the way of like the way how the
like
narrative
how the structure of the story is.
Right, like you don't feel bored by it. You don't feel slowed down. Like even when there's a battle like against Dorothy, for example, it lasted like 2 to 3 chapters. Even with that type of battle, you still get a lot of payoff from the characters because like you actually see the characters brainstorming together, and not only that, but they actually gives you that good feel moment that not only they're like learning and smartening things up, but they actually working together to the unexpected teamwork. Which in that case it was Sally. It was like, wow, Black Boys with Sally. What's going on here? But this is kind of pretty fun. This is actually amusing chemistry I'm seeing, and that's the thing that's one of the biggest strengths of the series. The chemistry is really fun. They're all fun, and what they're capable of when it comes to interacting with newer people who they're familiar with. So it's always fun to see a lot of different chemistry exploited. And when it comes to like again, that fight, pretty much it was settled to like we can't fight these imagination. What we're gonna do, we gotta do something right now. Let's brainstorm this. They brainstorm, brain blast, whatever you want to say. Then they got themselves to make another authority. And you asked yourself, that's actually pretty damn cool. It's not like, I got a brilliant idea. All right, what's your brilliant idea? So this is what we're gonna do. We all go over there, and then we just ambush them. So we just ambush them. We just have one guy go there, and then what happens? That guy gets in trouble, and then we all get attacked. What kind of shit is that? That's a stupid strategy. It's like no shit, Sherlock kind of strategy. You know what I mean? Like, of course you're gonna do that. Send one guy. If one guy comes there and then everybody shows up, then you all shows up. Like, who would not do that? What kind of and you look super smart out of that, like what's that meme goes? All according to plan. Oh, I forgot. I probably butchered that one. The whole all according to Keikaku.
Is according to plan. I think that's what it is.
All according to plan is according to plan, according to Keikaku. But so like when you hear something like that, it's like, what kind of payoff is that? What kind of smart? It's not smart. It's like no shit.
It's
like
lazy.
Common knowledge. Yeah, it's lazy. But like with Black Clover, whether you do figure it out yourself before or not, it still has that fun, rewarding feeling because it's like you see the character interact, you see the character have going through the thought process together, and even with the like not unreliable, but like they like someone that you would never expect to interact, but then when they all jot together, it's like boom, we got a plan, and then you see the action, and the action is actually fast paced as well. But not only fast paced, but there's a lot of things going on in a good way, a lot of things that you could actually focus. It's fast paced, it's adrenaline rush. Many times in the series so far, and it's always exciting. It never undermine
Like
the
it never
moment.
loses
Like,
its steam.
right. And like that's what makes it the whole scene with Noelle when she finally get her development. Well, not finally get the development. I don't scratch finally, because finally would mean like, man, that's wait 150 chapters for you to get development. That didn't mean like that. Scratch that. What I'm
Like
saying
the
is she
build
get the
up towards that
development.
development, I think is
Right.
like,
That not only right. Yeah, that's the best word. That's a better way, much better way, because finally is meaning like she never got development until
yeah.
now. But what I meant to say is Noelle gets the development that she has been building up for a long time. But not only that, but it felt so earned, because you get a new power up for her, you get her to show off against her siblings, and you get her to shine like hell in the most amazing way with a lot of great artwork, a lot of great emphasis, like the emphasis on the impact of her power up, and the way how she, like, felt so happy and felt so excited to actually have a moment that she could control the magic well. It's like, that makes sense, because she always struggled with magic. She was, I mean, like, she got much better now, but the fact that she get a new power and the fact that she felt like she's like one with nature in a sense, it just felt great. I was like, holy, I'm like, I'm kind of wanted to cry for her. I'm like, damn, you did it. You finally did it. I've been waiting for you like you feel that excitement, like of course she was
that
getting,
you've
she
been
was
wanting to
always
see her feel for like since the very beginning of the series.
right. It's not like she has been neglected for 150 chapters, and
No,
then you
definitely not
finally
at
see that
all.
moment. Yeah, is that, and then you finally see that moment, you probably be thinking like, oh, that's cool. Oh, now I'm looking forward to the next. See, that's the thing. You gotta keep it up with these characters, and that's another big strength of Black Clover. Now, of course, early on, you could argue they're generic or they're just like basic, typical thing.
Yeah, like it
And that
could
may
have
be
gone either
true.
direction where it could have gone like the typical where it's like, all right, you know how it goes, main character, rival, couple side characters, main female might do something, but it's not really gonna mean too much. It could have gone that approach, but instead it didn't.
Right. But like one of the biggest strengths as well is the fact that you keep these characters leveled up. Not when I say leveled up, I don't mean like, well, I'm really strong or I power up or level 10 now. I mean, yeah, I could mean that, but what I really mean is that everybody is in the same wavelength. They're not like, well, we haven't seen much of him, or we did see much of him, but it never looked impressive. But every character's always get that demonstration of like, these guys, like, yeah, I get that Asta would be the strongest one, or I get that Yuna would be the strongest one, whatever. But you never feel left out with these other characters. And what makes them even much better with these character execution is how their magic still beneficial, whether it's teamwork, offense, defense, whatever. And that's what makes it great, because I'm like, all right, I can't say these characters are useless now. It's not like one day Asta is gonna get magic that's similar to Magna. One day Noelle is gonna get the similar magic as something.
No,
I'm
it's
just saying
nothing
like
like that.
there's nothing like I got something that is similar as him. I got something that's better than him. I got something that's even stronger than the other guy. Whatever that's like that. I know Dragon Ball Z has that kind of problem, still does, but it kind of knows itself, and it does work its way out, which is why some of the foundation is actually still pretty stellar, if believe it or not. But that's a different story. Well, we go back to the Black Clover. What makes it interesting again is these characters' abilities are hardly irrelevant. They always be useful for one way or another. But like, hey, I need that mirror, because if I use that mirror, and if I use one attack, it could bounce around and ricochet, and then boom, hit the bag at with release unexpected. Hit Finra. You may be Yamcha, but I like the teleportation. So if you teleport, I throw this sword and you give me the teleportation, it will hit him or it will hit her. Or like, there's a lot of different methods to make it work. That's why this whole past arc well, not this whole past arc. We're still in the same arc. This
Yeah,
whole
this
arc
current
so
arc.
far has been right. This is why this whole current arc has been fun because everybody is in the same queue. Everybody is in the same length. We're not being told these guys are strong as each other. They're the same equal energy. We're not being told. We are being shown. And that's what I want. I wanted to know by seeing it. I don't want it to know by hearing it or reading it. I don't want to hear anybody say like, well, you know, he sucked, but I got to say, I didn't feel like a winner or some stupid shit. I'm like, no, I want to see it. I don't want you to tell me that. I mean, like, you could still do that. You could make a good guy lose. I don't mind that, but you got to make them look strong. But everybody has been looking strong. And that's why that's why in the last chapter it was like, oh, Black Bulls is gonna stay behind. That's cool. I'm not like, oh god, the main character doing all the work again, even though the side characters could have potential. You know, that's not the mood I'm in in this series. I haven't got to that mood. When you get to me in that mood, then you know why, because the whole past experience was lackluster. But if you never get to that, if you never got me in that mood, that means you have been doing well to keep everybody on the same wavelength. That's why I ask for everybody to be in the same wavelength. It's not like, oh, you're left behind. Too bad. I'm going to overpower everybody. I mean, you can still have one overpowered character, fine. But like, again, Asta is different because his case is that he has no magic. So it's actually a pretty different story. And that's what makes it compelling when it comes to this type of series. It's like you have a bazillion magicians or whatever you want to call them, but you got one dude that has no magic, and it's not like he's like overpowered, but he does carry the great weakness for everyone. It's just that they gotta be aware of it, and it just has to back away. But still, he's gonna still need that teamwork. It's not like, I bet I beat Vettel very easy on my first try. It's like, you do realize all the Black Bulls member had to do the work. And not only that, Yami took the kill in the end because, well, he's damn powerful as hell. We don't know that. This guy just did one slice. Done. But again,
vertically too. Damn.
Yeah, I know. But again, everybody's in the same wavelength. So I never feel like I'm being left behind. So I believe all the credibility of these side characters means a lot to the series. And like, again, whether this be relevant because of like, oh, I got a lot of stories in me, or would it be relevant because, oh, my power actually benefit? The characters has those two more or less, but it still factors to like, these characters are useful. These characters are beneficial. These characters are fun to watch. They're the crew that I would like to see more and more every time. Because I never feel like I'm left behind.
That's the other thing. Like, they continue to be relevant throughout the story. It kind of reminds you that, like, no, like yeah, these are the cast of characters that we're following, and you know, as we progress through the story, you get to know and understand why they're there and why exactly you should root for them.
Exactly. So, like you take Naruto for example. I remember the day. Now, if it's a spoiler for many, then I apologize. You mean
it's been 4 years since the series ended? Come on now.
Yeah, well, over 4 years. We're hitting 5 November, but yeah. But again, going back to Naruto example, because I remember a lot of people complain when Naruto pulled a moment where he has all the K11, Konoha 11, or helping him for the Rasengan. Now, people have had complaint because they felt like they didn't earn that, since the side character has been brushed off way too much.
Immensely, especially by like the second half of part 2.
Exactly. So it's like, oh yeah, I forgot you got friends, you know, kind of way. I mean, like, yeah, it is sarcasm, but my point is, you don't feel like it's so earned when you get that scene. You feel like it's just there for being there. I mean, yeah, I know the message. I understand the message, but you don't reflect it because it wasn't really kept in the same wavelength. It's like, it's not believable enough. It's not like, oh, okay, you know, I like these characters. I like all of them because, like, I've been seeing them, their struggles, their journeys throughout the entire series. They've been great friends with Naruto. They've been interacting with him like every arc, whatever like that. Kind of like how you get into Sama does it, which is why every friendship seems very believable and organic. But in this case, it's like you haven't seen anything with them. You only see Naruto talking about Sasuke this, Sasuke that, Sakura here and there sometimes, Sai, teachers, older people. So it's like you don't really see much with the K11. But when they get their moments, it's like, okay, fine. Just do that. If this series would have done something similar at this current stage, then it would be like, oh, that's awesome. My family right there.
Yeah.
You know, fist
it
pound right here. Fist pound me right there.
Justified. Like if
right.
It was
so that's why Black Clover, this arc has been a lot fun. And I think a lot of people see it the same way as I do. Or, maybe they find something else appealing, or maybe they find something even more appealing. I mean, I could name other things, but that's one of my points, that the reason why the series has been a lot of fun now, much more than ever, at least in my opinion, it's just that whole, again, you keep it in the same wavelength and you started to adjust his pacing, adjust his style. And not only that, but Tabata even pretty much like, I guess you want to call it master it, and now we're seeing like the best execution. It's kind of like it's like what I said before. I think I said it here. It's like, hey, look, you got the Fast series. It's kind of like, okay, Fast and the Furious is car stuff, action based, whatever. It's cool for people who likes cars and stuff like that. Yeah, sequel, same old thing. Third one is like, hey, different state. Fourth one is try to be like part one, but it's it's more ridiculous in a wrong way. And fifth one is like, okay, you acknowledge you're over the top. That's good. You're self-aware. That's good. You're action heavy, but you're with the self-awareness. That's even better. So everything feels perfect now because you know how you're executing. You know your place. So with Black Clover, it knows its place now, and it has been a hell of a ride so far. I don't know if this is the last arc. I don't think so, but.
Oh,
time will tell.
I highly doubt that, considering, and I mentioned those four too, but considering how we have had the Diamond Kingdom, and I'm going to assume, again, going by the deck of cards rule with the four suites, you got Spades and you got Hearts. I'm pretty sure those kingdoms do exist within the world of Black Clover, and we'll get them. We'll definitely get them at some given point, but if we're gonna play the long-term card here as to what could happen past this arc, and it's something I've seen like in the discussions, like mainly like on Reddit and like places there, but a lot of people have been kind of talking about like maybe the next big arc after this will be like the Diamond King arc, because of something that Asta and Mars had talked about, like after the Witch's Forest arc, which actually could be possible, but again, right now, we're still here. Like, we're barely, like, even getting into the Shadow Palace, and these fights are just about to begin. And, yeah, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about, but I guess in terms of predictions, we can just kind of briefly talk about that real quick. What I believe will happen is that we could see the four fights, kind of similar to what we're seeing right now, like with the setup, where like we'll see Asta's perspective with Mimosa and them taking down Leela, and then we get Noelle's side of things with Fauna and seeing what she's able to showcase. Then, of course, we get Fuegoleon and Kaiser, and then Marliana and Veto. Maybe we could even see Nozel and figure out what exactly he's been up to. Or maybe we'll get his stuff in the beginning of the chapter. I got no idea. That's kind of like my expectations / predictions as to what could happen in like the next chapter. But Sparta, do you have anything that you want to add in terms of like predictions for the upcoming chapter?
Maybe we'll focus a lot. Maybe we'll go backwards in terms of the focus. Maybe we'll start seeing the Kaiser battle first, for like maybe 3-4 page, and then we see the Miriona one, then we see the Noelle one, and then we end the chapter with Asta and Mimosa. I can see that happening.
Oh yeah, I could totally work
Like like a reverse. And I mean, that's the best shit I could think of for now.
I could totally work out that
I do
way.
think yeah, I mean, I do think everybody would get their focus. I don't think it would last 10 chapters for volume for
No,
one
I highly
battle.
doubt
I mean, if it was Bleach, count on it. But if it's
that.
because that happened, that legitimately did happen. I'm like, wow, we're stuck in this fight for 6 chapters. He's not important. Can we please change the fight? I mean,
If we're gonna go even a step beyond that, like the Naruto and Sasuke fight. I don't mean the second one. I mean the first one, because that first fight was like maybe what 2 volumes in length. Shit.
yeah. Well, in this defense, if you want to say that, if it's in this defense, it did have a flashback to kill time.
Yeah,
So
there's that. There's definitely that. There's definitely that flashback too.
so maybe that's the case. Maybe.
That is actually pretty true. Now that you mention it.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because like a long time ago, long battles where it's like normal, I think. I don't know. I never heard
It seemed
complaining, or
like the
maybe I
norm,
just
like
so
during that particular point, I was like, "Oh, cool, long battles," and now it's like, well, I can't. I feel like now we're just kind of like in a different. It's like a different era now where fights like that just don't work. I mean, they still could. I mean, well, I'm trying to remember because I don't think because when Luffy takes on, just briefly going off topic here for a minute, but when Luffy takes on like a threat, I don't necessarily think it'll last an entire volume unless you count Dressrosa, but there's that.
oh yeah. I mean, it was distracted by a lot of storytelling of like the world's ending in a sense. Not literally, but in terms of Dressrosa itself, it's like that. It's like because if we did have one chapter where it focused on the citizens, we got to change the world. We got to make Dressrosa great again. But can we? Because we're about to die. We're gonna die here, and then excuse me. So it's like a lot of story going on in terms of like the villagers and all that stuff. I guess that's one way to do it. I mean, yeah, it makes it up for like a world, not world building, but like basically a world diverse and stuff like that. I mean, I get it. I enjoyed them, but it felt like it was one of those keys of like maybe the anime would do it would be justify it better because the manga was just like, damn, I gotta wait a week. Damn, I gotta wait a week. Damn, I gotta wait a week. Maybe the volume felt better. I don't know. I haven't read it in the volume style for that one particularly, so I don't know. But yeah, I get yeah, it's true that like these type of fights, like these 10 chapters fight. I mean, sometimes it'd be less than that, but it still feels pretty long. I mean, you can still do it. It's just you have to be really good at it. You have to be really smart about it. You got to like really present a lot of cool moments, a lot of tension, suspense. Make it really exciting. It can be done. You just have to be good at it.
Yeah, and you got to make sure like if it's gonna be that long, just ensure that like it's not dull. Like
Right.
the second you hit like a dull point, everyone's gonna start looking at that. Um,
Exactly. Just can't hit that level. If you hit that level, then you're in trouble. Or even if you do come back, it's like, well, that fight was good, but it's not something I would go back for.
Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this particular podcast, unless we're missing something that we didn't really touch on.
No, I think we got everything for now.
Definitely looking forward to the next chapter for sure. And
Hmm.
the whereabouts of Nozel. Let's play a game with all you guys in the comments. Where do you guys think Nozel has ended up? With that being said, you guys, that is pretty much it, Sparta. It was really great having you on board, especially again for like another Black Clover podcast, which 3 in a row is definitely something on
Well,
the.
this. I'm sorry. It's just like I said many times. things has been getting exciting. And things has turning around for the better. Like, well, actually, there's no real. Oh no, it's going downhill. But it's more like it's just getting more interesting, more exciting, and I don't know. Black Clover is on a roll. I think that's the best way I could put it.
I can definitely second that myself. And aside from the guys, that is pretty much it. I'm LuckyG7.
Sparda3g.
And we will catch you guys next time. Peace.